Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank, where I climb the online VGC 19 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We are closing out Moon Series in the next week or so before the VGC format officially rotates over to Ultra Series. Now, as I mentioned before, Moon Series was, I don't think, the most exciting format to watch or play, but I still want to try out some really cool teams that players kindly offered for me to try out. Today I'll be using a team built by Juan Salerno, who is also known as Juan VGC. I've linked his Twitter in the description below. He's one of the best seniors in the world, and he won the Oceania Internats Championships in the seniors division with this very team. It's a different take on the Xerneas Lunala archetype that we've seen throughout the course of the season. It's got some really cool stuff like Assault Vest and Incineroar, Focus Sash Tapu Koko, and Hitmontop, which we don't see very often, so I'm excited to try it out. Yeah, you know, we'll be concluding Moon Series in the next week, and Ultra Series I think will be exciting because it's going to be pretty dramatically different, I think, from both Sun and Moon Series, and I think it should be both very fun to watch and play, so I'm excited to maybe be a little bit more active during then. Regardless, though, I appreciate you guys for watching all the videos that I do put out as always, and if you do enjoy Road to Rank, please show support by leaving a like. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you to all the amazing players who have offered their teams for me to try out throughout the course of Moon Series. The last team that I used, who is built by my friend Jake Major, was really fun. One of them, you know, it actually made me really enjoy playing Moon Series. So if you want to try that team out yourself, I've linked it in the description below. Of course, we're concluding Moon Series pretty soon, and as a result, it is kind of hard to find people on the ladder as well, but hopefully we get an opponent soon. We're going to find Alex VGC. I'm actually wondering if this is Francesco Pardini, who actually has his own YouTube channel and is like a huge Italian VGC star. If it is, that'd be fun because the team is really interesting. I've linked his channel in the description below in case it is. That's a really wonky team. We see a Scrafty, a Togedemaru, a Shedinja, and a Tapu Fini, as well as the Kyogre and the Ho-Oh core. So it should be an exciting one. I'm looking at the Shedinja and I'm like, oh boy. So I'm definitely going to need to bring Incineroar because I can't hit Shedinja other than Incineroar and Lunala. So I'm going to want both of those. I'm going to want the Xerneas. The question is who the fourth member should be. Kind of hard to justify bringing Hitmontop into this one. I mean, yeah, I can Helping Hand, but it can't really touch Ho-Oh. The more I think about it, I mean, maybe, but I think Koko's a little bit more tempting. Yeah, Ho-Oh just is a better matchup against the... Or sorry, Koko is a better matchup against the Ho-Oh. Definitely going to lead Incin, I think. The initial Intimidate's nice. I'm thinking Incin Zern with Lunala. And, I mean, Amoonguss can be okay for redirection still to support the the Xerneas a little bit more. But there is the Tapu Fini, which is the main concern. So I guess I'll bring Koko, because if I can take care of Togedemaru, I mean, Koko does hit the Ho and the Kyogre for super effective damage. This should be exciting, though, yeah. If it is Francesco, who is a really, really excellent content creator. And he's always got fun teams, so I'm assuming it's him. And it definitely is a really interesting team. So we've got something a little bit more standard going around on our side. It's going to be Ho and Tapu Fini, okay. Yeah, so the main issue is, I mean, Ho can just be kind of annoying to deal with, but if I can... Yeah, the other thing is it's not that easy to just Geomancy immediately in this matchup because Tapu Fini probably has Haze. But I'm not too threatened by Ho-Oh right now. The other thing is that Fini's can be annoying just because it can go for like Nature's Madness, and that damage does get kind of annoying. The Intimidate onto Ho-Oh is good. Can't be burned right now. Obviously I've got Fake Out pressure. I mean, I could just go for Fake Out into Fini and Geomancy and just try to knock it out before it gets access to a Haze. Yeah, let's go for that. I'm just worried about this Ho-Oh having some shenanigans. But he's just going to Brave Bird. And he's faster, which is important to note. That's fine. I mean, shouldn't do too much at -1. Okay. Actually was still really good damage, though. Wondering if it's Choice Banded. I mean, it really could be. I don't know my Ho-Oh versus Xerneas calcs too well, honestly. But I will get the Geomancy off, which is good. And this next turn I can just go for the Moonblast into Fini. And I think I'll probably U-turn out. and try to get Lunala out so I can go for the Psych Up. Yeah. The issue is if this Fini does have Protect, but it doesn't. So, okay, we're good. Yeah, I mean, I was worried about it having it because then it's another Brave Bird into Xerneas where I don't get the Moonblast off, and it survives. Oh, I thought Modest Max Special Tech would definitely get that knockout. Oh, that's really bad for us. Yeah, Tailwind's going to go up, so it's not banded. This is Xerneas with no bulk, though, so yeah. And there's the Haze. Oh, that's so sad. If we get that knockout, we're in a really great position because we're boosted, and we get Lunala in for free. It's rather unfortunate, but no worries. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that a Fini's going to survive that, but this is Modest instead of Timid, so I was like, okay, I think we should get this, but unfortunately not. But it's not the end of the world for us. It just, like, it does set us back considerably, though, because things look really good for us, because we just sweep through if you get the boost, and especially if you get the Psych Up off. And if I have, like, managed to get rid of the Haze threat, then Lunala most likely gets that Psych Up off as well. But it's still, like I said, not the end of the world. I want to match my opponent's Tailwinds. I'm going to go for a Tailwind of my own end. And I'm just going to Moonblast the Fini to chip away at it. Yeah, Holo's just going to keep launching Brave Birds. That's fine. Although this is a neutral one, that might knock me out. The rolls are close. I should have switched into Instant, I think. But he does target Lunala, okay. As Fini does have Light Screen as well. It's a fast Pokemon too. Although Tailwind is obviously up. But yeah, Ho is faster than Xerneas because Xerneas is Modest Max. Moonblast still does okay damage, but I will get the Tailwind up now, which is good. Definitely going to swap out into Instant here. Question is with who do I want to stay in with? I think I'd rather conserve Lunala, especially because the potential for Shedinja at the back is kind of scary. So yeah, I'm going to go into Instant and just try to knock out Fini right now. I'm prioritizing the knockout onto Fini just because, obviously as a support-oriented Pokemon, it's just quite annoying. Ho being intimidated means it's not going to do as much damage after I get this intimidated. And there's the potential for Nature's Madness. But yeah, it's unfortunate Fini hung on from the +2 max special attack Moonblast. I really wonder what the calc is on that, because I figure it's a roll. You know, I'd be survived. I mean, I guess if you go like max HP special defense, you can survive. But yeah, I guess there wasn't really too much I could have done to prevent that, other than just not going for Geomancy immediately, like trying to chip away. But I thought it would be able to knock out for sure with Modest. Ooh, that's going to be a Z move coming out. Okay, Flying MZ. Let's see who that targets. I wanted to conserve Lunala because there is the potential for Shedinja in the back, so I kind of really need my ways to hit Shedinja. It is going to be the Supersonic Sky Strike, though. Okay, it does go into Instant. So at -1, I mean, this Ho has been doing a lot of damage, so yeah, that still does a ton. But we do get rid of the Z move, and our Lunala survives, which is good. And now he's intimidated, which is also good. So decent turn for us, but this Light Screen is going to be really annoying to deal with. On the right side, Hoa looks like it's like max offense, max speed, so it shouldn't be very bulky. Unlike a lot of like the berry variants that we see. It could be Kyogre coming in. If it is, we can just go for a fake out. Maybe switch into Coco. Really wonder what he's got in the back. That is the question. This Coco is also interesting because it's like Sash more support oriented. It has like Electro Web, but that actually allows us to hit around the Togedemaru and still does pretty good damage with Electric Terrain up. So yeah, definitely unfortunate turn 1. With that, I think I could have maybe played it better by just going straight for like a Moonblast and not opting to go for the Geomancy. But yeah, I don't think I regret the plays that I made so far. Shedinja actually does come out though. Kind of surprised to see it come out as early as it does, but okay. So this is going to be interesting. I do have a fake out option this turn. I kind of just want to go for the Snarl immediately though. It might be better to switch out Incineroar though. Part of me is thinking of greeting for a Geomancy right now, but it's not a great idea. Let's see. I mean, I could just fake out Hole, but then Shedinja could get a free attack off against Incin. Probably wants to Brave Bird the Instant. Let's switch out into Coco. And Moonblast. The Ho-Oh. I want to get another Intimidate off against both these physical type attackers, because then it makes Instant just that much better. This is kind of where I do wish I had Berry Instant, though, because I am a Stealth Vest. It doesn't really do very much for me right now. I'm okay losing my Focus Sash. I don't think it's too essential in this matchup. Although I guess it would help against Scarf Kyogre in the back. Ho-Up's to Protect. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what Shedinja does. Just going to Shadow Sneak for some chip damage. Okay. That's okay with me. Tailwind does peter out, so my opponent could go for another Tailwind. You could go for, like, Ally Switch Tailwind. Man, Shedinja just adds so many more shenanigans to the table. Like, I kind of want to taunt because it would go through the Ally Switch as well. And, like, I would get to taunt either Ho-Oh or Shedinja, but I could just Electro Web for some good damage. I'm going to Electro Web and sub, yeah, I like that. I hate playing against Shedinja, though. Yeah, he does go for the Ally Switch. So I was thinking of taunting the Shedinja slot, which would prevent a Tailwind from going up, but I will still get good damage here and a free sub. That's annoying, though. It looks like we actually speed tie between Ho-Oh and Xerneas, too. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, max speed, Zern. That's an unfortunate miss. That would have been super good, but oh well. Let's see. I could just Electro Web again. Kind of want to switch into Instant for the Intimidate, but I kind of need Instant around to deal with the Shedinja in the late game. So I don't want to, like, just take a lot of damage coming in. I think I'm just going to protect the stall at a turn here and go for a Moonblast. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm KOing with that, but every piece of damage is really crucial against the Ho-Oh. Alright, he's going to sneak, yeah. Probably a double up. Good, okay. Yeah, I mean, this does look like a really offensive Ho-Oh, so... I was going to say, hopefully we do good damage. Not the best, but Light Screen does finally wear off. The switch into Instant here is super obvious. I'm also actually contemplating Geomancy with Xerneas here. Like, I should have gone for that last turn, I think. I could switch into Instant, it's just if he calls it in Brave Birds. Like, we're not going to have a great answer against Shedinja. Can I take a Shadow Sneak and Sacred Fire, though? That's the question. I don't think I can. I think I just stay in, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm actually going to go for the Geomancy. Ah, he goes for the Ally Switch instead. Well, that means I should survive an attack. And he does Brave Bird. Okay. Well, that makes the Geomancy look a little bit silly then, because that's, yeah, it's going in Xerneas. And I didn't Electro Web either, so not the best. However, this does mean, actually, that he's forced to target down this Xerneas next turn, unless he wants to let me just get off the Geomancy. So, yeah, it's actually not the end of the world, I think. This is one weird game. Okay, you have to target down Xerneas. I could switch it to Instant, but I think it's better to just Electro Web here. Yeah. Yeah, you can see where the miss kind of hurt earlier, because if I hit that... I guess Ho actually probably doesn't still get knocked out because the screens were up. But it does mean that would fall down to a Brave Bird recoil. But you probably Sacred Fire here. I mean, now you Brave Bird, but... Let's see. Okay, Sneak. I don't think that knocks me out. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, he actually targets the Coco, so I get the Geomancy off. Things I did not expect to see. I guess the Geomancy doesn't really matter because you can just sneak me again for the knockout. Oh my gosh. This is such a weird game. Yeah, the burn is kind of unfortunate, but that's fine. This is definitely one of the weirdest games I've ever played. I mean, I could just E-Web again. Safest play is to E-Web switch into Incin. I kind of want to set up a Tailwind, though, because I think Kyogre's in the back, and if it's Scarf Ogre, you can just click Water Spout and end the game, so I'd want to set up Tailwind. Alternatively, I could get an Incin and fake out Electro Web. But then it's like Electro Web mind games. Okay, I'm gonna web, and I kind of, yeah, if it is Scarf Ogre, like I need to play around the Scarf Ogre. So Ho is gonna protect, but that's fine because you need to knock out Xerneas. So then I get Incineroar in. Ooh, good target selection there though. That was really smart. Yeah, I'm just really worried about Scarf Ogre plus the ally switch. I don't know, I don't like my position very much, but that I should have considered that last turn better too. Because the protect on Ho's end was obvious. I could go for the same play here though, because Burn's not going to knock me out. Yeah. I think I should have switched in Incineroar earlier at some point. Yeah, that probably would have been better. Lunala not having Shadow Shield's not great either. It's just the question of what does... Kyogre presumably is in the back. Alright, Ho goes for the double, doesn't get it. Sneak is going to come out. I'm going to go into Coco, okay. So now it's like, if you are Scarf Ogre, then it's... Actually, if it is Scarf Ogre, you can just Shadow Sneak me while I fake out. So I think I lose now, because Sneak just knocks me out. Like, okay, let's say if I switch in Incineroar, you are Scarfed, then you just Shadow Sneak Xerneas and click Water Spout. So I have to hope for it to not be Scarfed, because if it is Scarfed, I think I just lose. Yeah. I could have played this a lot better for sure. Yeah, so obviously no surprise to see Kyogre in the back. It's just, is it Scarf Ogre? I feel like it should be on this team comp, but you never know. So now we have the ally switch mind games. I mean, you'd want to Shadow Sneak the Xerneas. Yeah, I mean, I have to hope for it to not be Scarf. If it's not Scarf, then I can Z-move the Ogre. Alright, he is sneaking. If he's sneaking Xerneas, I feel like it is Scarf then. If it's not, though, I do get the Z-move off against Kyogre. But he is Scarfed, yeah. That's gonna knock me out. Yep. Good game. That was super wonky. I could have played better in a lot of different parts. I think ultimately I just like didn't know what to really do against this team. And the Shedinja just caused me a lot of problems. I played super passively as well. I think I should have switched in Incin earlier against the Shedinja and the Ho-Oh. But I just like didn't want to lose it, because if I lose Incin, I probably just lose the game. Because I need my ways to hit Shedinja in the late game. Yeah, what I needed to set myself up for was... So, yeah, like the double Geomancy didn't really do much. I needed to intimidate the Shedinja earlier so that Shadow Sneak was doing less damage, because once that initial Shadow Sneak went off against my Shedinja, or went off against my Xerneas, I really couldn't do very much, because then I was just in a position where it's like, if I switch out, I take damage. If I stay in, I take damage. So that Shedinja was actually really, really pivotal for him that game. Super, super fun game, honestly. I could have played a lot better for sure. But Yeah, I think like seeing Shininja team preview just kind of made me like be like, oh man, like what do I even do here? So I'm kind of sad because I didn't do this team justice for sure, but I think definitely a game I can look back on and learn a lot from. Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a completely different game if that Moonblast does knock out the Feeny in the beginning of the game, but once again, like I don't know what the calc is on that, and I feel like it's probably max HP special defense specifically to survive that. I would assume it survives like timid Moonblast 100% of the time. I did have the fake out chip, so yeah. I was like relatively confident that would KO. Unfortunately, it didn't. And after that, I just like did not play very optimally. Losing all or getting all that chip damage on Lunala wasn't too great either. We are gonna find our next opponent though, running Kyogre, Solgaleo. So some interesting Kyogre teams today for sure. Definitely, obviously, always goes Xerneas, Lunala. Question is who I wanted to back. Tough to justify bringing him on top against a Lele. And Solgaleo, honestly. This Among Us does have Pyapa Berry, so we actually could make a really good argument for that in this matchup. Yeah, Pyapa Among Us could be huge. But dealing with my opponent's Among Us is also going to be something I have to watch out for. Could just go Xerneas and Lunala. I mean, Coco's kind of tempting for just like electric terrain control, but I think I like Instant Among Us a bit more here. The Intimidate's nice against the Cortana. Yeah. So I'm still thinking Instant Zern. I could go Instant and Lunala as well, though. That doesn't seem to be half bad. I kind of like Instant Lunala. Because I feel like against Xerneas teams, like my opponent's gonna want to lead something specifically to shut down Xerneas, and Lunala has like a better matchup against a lot of those things. So let's see. Yeah, that last game was really wonky. I didn't have a good game plan. That's like a game where I feel like I was just kind of clicking buttons, and yeah, just didn't have a very good game plan. I mean, I just wasn't playing very great because I just had no idea how to approach that matchup. I think taunting Shininja definitely would have made my life a lot easier. Yeah, the turn I really regret was going for the Electro Web instead of the taunt. Like, I missed it, which obviously hurt, but because it extended Ho-Oh's time on the field. But taunt really could have been great. Okay, we're going to see Lunala and Solgaleo. Or sorry, Lele and Solgaleo. It's going to be Psychic Seed Lele, too. Interesting. Okay, that's not the worst, honestly. Because I've got Z-move pressure immediately from Lunala. Let's see. Leaning towards U-turning the Solgaleo and just Z-moving Lele. Because eliminating Lele would be really nice here, and I don't think he's going to allow me to just... He's not going to give up Solgaleo that easily. Actually, why U-turn? Why not just Flare Blitz? Yeah, let's just go for Flare Blitz and the Z-move. I could see Lele protecting here, but that damage through Protect is still nice, because then it's a knockout. Or that can happen. Do we just knock it the Solgaleo out? Alright, find out soon. That would be the most hilarious turn one if Solgaleo just gets knocked down, Lele takes Flare Blitz damage enough for a Moongeist VMAX. I mean, that would probably just end the game effectively. Oh, but man, Ally Switch has really come out in form this format. Yeah, I was like, worst case scenarios, both Pokemon protect, but like Lunala is still just so good against this lead. Yeah, that's why I wanted to lead it, because I figured you're gonna want to like go super anti-Xerneas lead. I'm still thinking about that last game though, man. I should have taunted for sure, like multiple different points. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was unnecessarily risky, I feel like. Ally Switch on turn 1 is like a really big gamble unless you're confident on targeting a specific slot. Yeah, I mean, that's literally like, it can't get any better than that. That's like the ideal turn 1. So Kyogre comes out, but that's fine, because now I can just Tailwind. Yeah. I'm gonna switch into a Moongus and Tailwind. Holy, that was a turn. That was a turn for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's still not over for my opponent by any means, but I should guaranteed get Tailwind up. It's not Scarf Ogre either, which is good to confirm. Although in this case, I actually was hoping it was Scarfed. It's okay, interesting. It's slower than the Kyogre, so probably like a Trick Room oriented one. And I avoid the Origin Pulse, which just adds insult to injury, unfortunately. But I mean, that hitting shouldn't knock us out. Although that looks like Specs Ogre. Even if it does, though, I just bring out Xerneas and just win with Xerneas. So I mean, I feel bad, but not really the worst. Because I feel like I'm in a pretty commanding position anyway. Either way, he's probably just going to Protect. But yeah, I'm just going to Moongeist Beam and Spore. You could Ally Switch, but that's not really going to accomplish too much. Yeah. I mean, that turn one was just so risky. Like, I would guess... or actually, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised by Lele outspeeding the Kyogre, because it's naturally faster. I'm just so used to, like, all Kyogres having Choice Scarves. That looks like Specs Ogre, though. Like, that did a lot of damage to Amoonguss. Yeah, it's definitely Specs Ogre. But that's fine. Like, I put Kyogre to his sleep now. Regardless of who my opponent has in the back, I can just bring in Incineroar. I guess Cortana is the fear here, right? But I do have Tailwind up, so in this last turn, if it's Cortana here, I switch Amoonguss into Incin, protect Xerneas, Fake Out, and it's Xerneas, which is even better. Or sorry, Incin, which is even better. Yeah, because now what I can do is I can just click Spore onto Incineroar and a Geomancy. Oh, he can't even Fake Out, yeah. Which is good. So the Spore just covers the Roar option, basically. Yeah, you can't Fake Out Xerneas, so I get the Geomancy off. If you try to Roar, Amoonguss just puts you to sleep. If you go for Snarl or anything else, I mean, Xerneas just wins at this point. So I think we should be good here. Psychic Terrain should end soon enough, too, where I can actually potentially get a Fake Out with my Incin off. And we know the win condition here is just to knock out Kyogre. So, yeah, I mean, once again, the lead was super good for us, and it would have been tough to lose this one after turn 1. It's still not over, though, so right now it's key to not choke the game away. Yeah, it looks like it is Roar Incin as does go after the Incin. So there's no reason not to Spore there. We know he can't Fake Out. Even if he can Fake Out, I think it's still the best play there. We still got 1 turn of Tailwind, 2 turns of Psychic Terrain, or sorry, 1 turn of Psychic Terrain. I think it's best to just, let's see. I mean, we need a 1-turn Wake. I'm just going to Rage Powder and Moonblast, I think. I just want to make sure I don't throw this. They've both taken 1 turn of sleep, so if they both wake up and Kyogre survives the +2, that would be bad. But we know, yeah, it's actually better to protect Amoonguss. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. That's one way to throw the game. Yeah. I think it's best to go for this play. Okay, my opponent just forfeits. I think my opponent could have still... I mean, if you get both Pokemon to wake up and your Kyogre survives the Modest +2 Moonblast... I mean, I guess, it's probably not surviving Modest +3 Moonblast. But the reason I went for that play was because, like, if Kyogre wakes up, what Amoonguss does doesn't end up mattering, and the Roar gets off anyway, so I'd rather just go for the Protect. Moonblast, even if I don't knock out Kyogre... and you Roar me out, Incin comes out, and then Fake Out should knock out the Kyogre, because it shouldn't have that much bulk. And then I've got, I just don't want to give up the Amoonguss there for free. I don't think it actually probably ends up mattering too much there, but 2 very interesting games there. The first one definitely could have been better played. I think Taunting would have been better. I think it was just greedy to go for the second Geomancy. I thought it would work out, but I didn't take into account, like, 2 Shadow Sneaks. Like, there was no game plan there, and that was just kind of bad plays overall. Chipping away at the Ho-Oh definitely would have been better. I think it was like fairly safe to assume it was Scarf Ogre in the back as well, so not playing around that was pretty bad as well. The game plan originally in my head was, I just need to get 1 Fake Out, either Electro Web, like 1 Fake Out plus a Tailwind is really good, but I didn't put myself in the position in the late game to even do that, so that was pretty bad. Amoonguss actually could have been a lot better than I thought in that match, but it was just the Ho-Oh and the Feeny that really scared me. Obviously, the E-Web miss and the Feeny surviving, both were pretty unfortunate, but I could have played like 10 times better, like regardless of that. Taunting at some point with Coco could have been better. Not going for the second Geomancy, just chipping away at Xerneas could have been better. Switching an Instant at some point earlier could have been better. There were a lot of, I don't think there's like one turn that I can point to in that first game where I'm like, okay, like this was a clear play, but there are like multiple turns where it's just like, I don't really know why I went for the play that I did. I feel like I was just kind of clicking buttons. It didn't really work out. So yeah, that game definitely highlighted how annoying Shedinja can be, and this was definitely an ally switch episode. But yeah, thanks for guys. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely some fun ones, and we did have a string of wins, but yeah, gonna take an L on that one, but can't feel too bad given that I think our opponent played super well, and I just was not very good at in that game. So lots to learn from. It's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I linked Francesco's YouTube in the description below in the chance that it is him. Should be him given that that's his normal username, but I'm not entirely sure. Even if it isn't, check his channel out. Definitely one of the best content creators around, and super, super good. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. Thank you to Juan for lending me his team as well. I think I'll probably play one more episode with this team, and then there's another team I want to try out before we switch over to Ultra Series. So I'll see you guys then. All right, peace.